What's up, everybody? This is Kevin from Happy Coding here. And over the last few days, if you've been following these videos, or if you're coming to these videos in the future, I've been participating in an event called January, which goes all through January, and for each day in January gives you a prompt, and you use each prompt to come up with some creative coding project. So I've done quite a few of these now. And you can look at them on happycoding.io, or you can go through some of the previous videos, but they've been pretty fun and I've enjoyed them. So I think I'm going to keep going with that tonight. So tonight's prompt is use sound. And that's pretty vague, but I like that. It gives me a lot of freedom. So what I am planning on doing, and I haven't really gone much further than just planning on this one tiny thing, but like what I want to do is use a library in P5 that I have only, I don't know if I've ever used it actually, but we're going to learn about it together tonight. So I can go to the libraries page on the P5 website, and p5.sound is the library I want to use. And I have a vague notion that you can use it to play sound effects. And I read through this page a little bit earlier today, so I think I have a vague notion of where to go, but not much more than that. But I think what I'm looking for is this monosynth, I guess it's a class. And so this reference gives me an example, and let's see if this works. Let's just see. Yeah, okay. So I don't know if you can hear that on the video. I sure hope you can, otherwise it's going to be a pretty boring video. But when I tap this, it plays a kind of a random note, or it plays two notes at a random volume, and that's already pretty cool. It's already pretty close to what I would want. So I think I kind of want to just play with this exact example and tweak it and make it my own. So to do that, so to use this library, what I want to look for is either like a web, like a URL, or like a file that I can download. And yeah, so I can go here, and I can go here, and all right, cool. So this is like the raw like source code of the library, and I don't really need to look into it, but I can download it, and then I can go to my P5 editor, and this is just a fresh P5 editor that I haven't done anything with. But what I want to do is upload that file that I just downloaded to my P5 editor, and let's see. So that is P5 sound. Here it is. So that's in there, P5 sound. I guess it deletes the dot in there. It doesn't really matter. But what I can do is go to my index.html file and add it into here. So I can say script source equals, and then the source is going to be p5sound.js, and end my script tag. So now, if I've done that correctly, I can use the P5 sound library in my sketch code. And let's go back to that example that I want to kind of work from. That's here. I think what I might do is maybe just steal this code for a minute. So I'm just copying that example into my own P5 editor. So let's see if this works. And it does, cool. So from here, I kind of, now I want to make this code more mine. So let me think about this. So first of all, I think it's kind of goofy that they did this. Canvas.mouse pressed instead of using like the P5 function mouse pressed. It doesn't really matter, but I kind of prefer this style, so I'm going to change it. So nothing should really change, but cool. might change this size eventually. I'm probably going to play with all of this, but for now it's fine. So down here is where it might get interesting. So I am not a music guy at all, so I don't even really know what these things mean. But let me maybe go to the reference for this play function. So it's monosynth. And yeah, I can go here to find its play function, and the play function takes what? So here's the note, and it's a string, or it's a number actually. So in hertz, or is it tone? So I could maybe see tone for more information. What's this? Okay, I could read more about this, but that seems like a lot of work. I think what I want to maybe play with is this idea that it's a number. So the default is 440. Okay, let's try that maybe. So my note, let's just comment this out for a second. Let's say 440. Let's just see what this does. Yeah, okay. That's fine. I think I can kind of see from the code that it's playing whatever note I choose at a random volume. And I'm not sure I want that. I think oh man, I just got a bunch of pop-ups. Sorry. Go away. Anyway, I think I just want to play my note at the normal volume. So I'm not going to randomize the volume. All right, cool. So this is playing my note, 440 hertz, I guess, at a volume of 1 right away, and it will take up 1/6 of a second. So that's cool. That gives me some room to play. What I might do is test out the boundaries of this note. So 440 was the default. I don't know. Let's see what happens if I take it down to 100. 100 is like, I can't hear that. Maybe it's my crappy laptop speakers, but it's not really doing anything for me. 200 seems more reasonable. It's like really quiet. I might increase that to like 250. Yeah, okay. 250 seems like about as like low as I would want to get. So let's see. How high could I get? Maybe like 600. Let me just go to 500 first. Yeah, 500 seems fine. Let's try 600. If you're wearing headphones, maybe turn your volume down, because like high-pitched noises can hurt your ears. But fair warning, I'm about to play a high-pitched noise. Yeah, that's maybe too high-pitched. So I think maybe 500 might be our max, maybe 550. Yeah, 550, that still sounds kind of pleasant. Okay. So I've got kind of a range of like reasonable numbers. So maybe what I can do is try random 250, 550. So I'm going to now, every time I click, I'm going to play a random note between 250 and 550. Yeah, okay, maybe. Let's see, let me delete some of this old stuff. Time from now, sure. I guess that just means like there's no delay. I don't want to wait a while to play it. And then note duration in seconds, maybe like 1/4. Let's see what that sounds like. Like a quarter note, would that be called? I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about music. Yeah, maybe. Okay. And I don't know, let me think about this. So what I might do from here is, I'm trying to think, like my prompt is really just use sound, and like I said, I didn't really think about this ahead of time. I haven't done much like brainstorming or homework, I just kind of wanted to get in here and play around and see where it took me. So there's a few options I could play with. I could do something like an interactive sketch where, like, similar to how it works now, where it's like the mouse plays a random note, maybe the keyboard plays a random note. So maybe it's like key pressed. Let's see what this does. Yeah, so I'm playing like a random keyboard just by typing letters on my actual like laptop keyboard here. Maybe it kind of just feels goofy. It doesn't feel like super satisfying or anything. So another thing I could do is I could play with the idea of like a random walk, or maybe just kind of the idea of the note playing itself actually first. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have a draw function, and right now it's going to play like 60 notes a second, and that's going to hurt your ears and probably kill my speakers. So instead what I'll do is I could do a few things. I could mess with the frame rate, but let me play with the idea of like using the frame count variable, mod that by, I don't know, 30. So every half second I'll play a note. See what this does. So let's see. If I hit play, then every half second I'll play a note. Let's see. Nope, sorry about that. Well, duh. Frame count percentage 30 needs to equal to 0. Duh. I mean, JavaScript doesn't catch errors like that, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Here we are. So hopefully this will work a little better. Yeah. Maybe. It's kind of like there's no intelligence to it, but it almost sounds like a song. Almost. Maybe speed it up just a little bit. Yeah, I don't hate that actually. Even though it's like totally random and there's no intelligence to it at all. That actually works pretty well. Another thing I might play with while I update my syntax to be a little bit more correct. I kind of want to play with the idea of a random walker. So what I could do is maybe say let, what is it, note down here? Yeah. Let note, and I'll set note equal to, what was it, 450? 440, something like that. And then in here, I'm not sure what this user start audio function does. Let me maybe just check that real quick. Do I need that? Huh. I think maybe I can move that to setup. Let's see. So what's it do right now? I haven't changed anything, right? Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right, so let me just try to move this up to setup. I don't know if you need to call it every single time, but we'll find out. No, okay, cool. So this apparently like tells the computer that you're about to start some audio, which, okay. Okay, I mean, I could read through this a little bit more, but it seems to work, so for my purposes, this is fine. Actually, let me comment this out, see what happens. Yeah, okay, I guess you only need this if you're starting it from user input, but I'm just doing it right from the beginning, so we'll see. Maybe I'll change it back, but for now, it's just kind of just starts automatically, and that's fine. So what do I have? I have my note function, or my note variable, and it starts out at 440, And I want to do something like note plus equals random, I don't know, between -1 and 1, random walk style. And then say note equals constrain note 250, 550. So keep it between the extreme values that we don't want it to go outside of. And so now what I should hear is my note will randomly go up or down, but it won't be so random that it's just like completely random notes. Let's just see. Okay, I don't know about that. It feels like they got longer. Maybe that's just because I'm playing the same note over and over again. I guess that makes sense. So maybe this number needs to change a little bit. Maybe increase this. I don't know if I like that. Maybe I'll increase it just a little bit more just to see how it feels. Yeah, kinda. You can kind of hear that it goes up and down kind of randomly. And let's see, so while I'm here, another thing I might do is kind of want to draw something to the screen. So yeah, let me play a couple tricks here. Let me do like background 3210. So draw kind of a transparent background. Let me kind of get rid of this stuff. I don't need this canvas variable either, so I can get rid of you. Yeah. So on background, I'm going to draw like a transparent background, and then here, what do I want to do? I want to draw like a line or something. So const line y equals maybe a map of, what do I want? I want it from 0. Wait, I want it from note and between 250 and 550, and let's say between 0 and height. Maybe I should reverse that in a second, but whatever. So then I'm going to draw a line from 0 line y to width line y. So hopefully what I see is the like a line drawn kind of relative to wherever the note is, and hopefully that makes it a little bit more interesting to look at. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I kind of like that. It's a little backwards. So like I said, maybe I'll reverse this so that the lowest value is actually the highest value in the new range. So like when it's 250, it'll actually be down at the bottom. So maybe that's cooler. I actually really like this. I kind of want to see it go back up to the top though. There it goes. Like if I just heard this in the background of like a video game or something, I would believe this is a song. Maybe it's my own untrained ears, but it works. Yeah, there it goes. Go up top. Alright, that's good enough. So I mean, that's cool. I kind of enjoy that. I could play with a couple things. I could play with like the background, what it looks like, but I don't know. Let me think about this. Do I want to try to make this like a key pressed thing? Let's try that. So now instead of waiting for this to happen, I will do it whenever I type a key. See if this feels any more interesting. Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that it would feel like I'm playing a keyboard without playing a keyboard, but it just kind of feels like I'm waiting for it to happen. So, I might just turn it back. I kind of liked the idea of like the computer playing a song for me. That's kind of cool. So I kind of think I'm just going to take away all user input at all. I could maybe make it so like it depends on where you click in the canvas or like which key you type, but I think I'm going to keep it with this kind of random walk style. So what can I play with here? So I've got my note, and it's random, and I like the effect that has. Let me see if I can play with any of these other kind of parameters. So I know I don't want to play with time. I always want to just play the note right away. I could play with the velocity, which is the volume, and I could play with the duration, maybe. So one thing I don't know is if I try to play two notes at once, what happens? So maybe what I'll do is say like const dir equals, so it was 1/4 random, something between like 1/8 and 1, maybe? I don't know what this is going to sound like. Again, if you're wearing headphones, maybe turn your volume way down. Maybe don't wear headphones, because it could be that this sounds real bad, but let's find out. I don't really know. I kind of can't tell. Maybe just for fun, let me see what happens if it's always 1. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I really tell a difference. Like I said, I'm not really a musical person, so maybe there's something very obvious happening, but I kind of can't tell. Let me make it like an 1/8. I'm kind of dumbly just using random, even though it's not random, just to get something working. But yeah, okay, I can hear that difference. So maybe it's just because I'm playing a note every 1/4 second, that if it's longer than a 1/4 second, it doesn't really matter. So maybe let's try something like this, 1/4. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like that's not really getting me much. I think I'd rather just keep it at 1/4. Yeah, I don't hear much difference, and I'd rather, like, if it's not really affecting the sketch, then I'd rather just keep it as one value. So I do like this idea of the random walk. I do think I'm going to keep with that. I guess I could play with velocity, random, I don't know, 0.5 and 1. No, I kind of don't care about that. I think just one sounds fine. Yeah, I think we get like the interesting patterns all from the note. I'm kind of happy with this, honestly. I'm trying to think. Maybe what I end up doing is looking in this reference. I maybe should have done this ahead of time, but I know there's other things you can play with. So there's like filters, reverb. There's all kinds of stuff you can play with, but I'm not so sure if that would be an interesting video, watching me sit here and read through documentation. I also just kind of don't feel like it. What the heck is this? Oh, cool. I have no idea what that means. All right. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I could like get in here and play with a few of these examples. So let's just try one. Does this have a? Man, I was looking for like one that had a like an interactive example, like the first one did. So I'm playing with monosynth. I think I could play with polysynth, which I guess probably has like left and right component to it. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. I'm thinking of stereo. Huh, I guess this has something to do with voices. Okay, weird. I mean, it's got other things. It's got note stuff in here, so I don't know. I mean, I could keep reading more about it, but kind of don't feel like it. So maybe let me just stick with kind of the raw materials that I have over in my editor. So I've got a note that I could play around with. Another thing I could play with is, right now I'm playing, I guess these are quarter notes. You can yell at me if that's not true, but I'm playing a note every quarter second. Let me take that to like an eighth of a second. And I want this to be, I don't know, something like 7. I guess I really want it to be 7.5, but whatever. So now this will be 8 times a second. That's not right, is it? Nah, it is. Okay. It's not quite right, but it doesn't really matter. It'll be off by a little bit. That's hilarious. I kind of love that. All right. So that's something I could play with. Let me think about how I would do that. I'm kind of wondering how I could maybe make it kind of automatically get faster and slower, kind of how it gets like higher and lower. Yeah, man, I'm kind of into that. So let's see. Right now I have this duration, which is 1/8, and I have this frame count variable, which is like I'm using the modulus operator. So if I have like a divisor, what's like 60 divided by 8? That's where I get my 7 from. Okay, yeah, so what I can do is maybe have a, what would this be, like speed? Maybe. I know I'm misusing that term a little bit, and I'll start it out at like 4. Start out at a quarter note, and what I'll do is, man, something like next frame, something like that equals, wait, hold on, maybe like frame divisor, frame divider. This is not quite the right term, but equals 60 divided by speed, and maybe I want to floor this. So this is where I'm going from 60 to 7. So before, when it was like a quarter note, so when speed was 4, I wanted to do modulus of 15. So 60 divided by 4 is 15. And then when I was doing 8, I wanted to do 7. So 60 divided by 8 is 7.5, I think it was. So then we floor it to get to 7. So I think something like this. And then what I can do is something very similar to this, where I say frame divider, oh wait, no, sorry, speed plus equals a random value between, I don't know, -1 and 1, just to start. And then constrain it to somewhere between, let's see, 8 seemed like a good number, maybe 2, so like a half note, maybe. And then what I want to do, and I know this is kind of a lot, but what I want to do is 1 divided by speed here. So hopefully that connects everything. So again, fair warning, I just wrote a bunch of code and we're going to throw it at our speakers and see what comes out of it. So it might sound really gross. So, you know, protect your ears, maybe take your headphones out of your ears for a second, turn your volume down, all that kind of stuff. But I'm about to hit play. So ready, 3, 2, 1. No, broken. I always mess this up. Constrain, speed. I need that first parameter. And wait, why is this? Oh, that's funny. I'm thinking in terms of like 1/8 and 1/2, but I actually want this to be like 2 and 8. I'm not sure if it'll actually work either way, but whatever. Maybe. It's kind of going too fast. Oh wait, never mind. As I say that. Okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think maybe 8 was too fast, I guess, or I'm not sure. Maybe they're not connected like I think they are. So I only change the speed when I play the note, which I think is fine. But I do check this. I'm not sure. I mean, I think that should work. I can't think of anything very obvious. So let me try another thing. Let me try to draw the speed maybe. So line X is not a good variable name, but whatever. Speed from, what is it, 2 and 8 to 0 and width. And let me draw a line from line X 0 to line X height. So now I'll have like a visual indicator of how fast or slow my note is, my music is. I kind of like that. I think that maybe the speed is kind of all over the place. So I think maybe what I'll do is maybe decrease this number. So move my speed by less each time. And what am I starting out my speed at? 4? Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. I think I'm into that. Yeah, okay. I think that's pretty cool. I guess one thing I could do, I always forget to do this and realize I should have done it at the beginning of the video, is make this bigger just to make it easier to see. Yeah, I kind of really like that. I think maybe I can play with, now that it's kind of easier to see, I can kind of see that maybe this number's a little too big. It's kind of a trick, kind of like a syntax sugar thing, but like instead of choosing any number between -10 and 10, I'm going to choose either -10 or 10, so kind of always keep it kind of extreme. So let's see what that does. Yeah, so see like how it moves up and down by 10 each time. And I'm sure there's like a musical value that would be meaningful here, but whatever, 10 works. Sorry, I'm going to pay attention to this for a second, just like what it sounds like and what it looks like. Okay, and now I'm going to change it back to what it was. See which one I like better. Yeah, I think I like it the other way. Cool. So I think I'm going to keep it that way. Another thing I could do kind of the same idea for my speed. So let's just try that. Kind of want to see what happens when it gets like really fast or really slow. That's like going into an extreme corner. It feels like it's in pain. Here, I mean, I think that's pretty good. I think it's pretty close to what I'm going to post. I kind of like this kind of crosshair looking thing. I could maybe randomize that a little bit. Let's just see what that looks like. Random 255, random 255, random 255. My favorite line of code. Maybe, that's kind of cool. Okay, cool. Another thing I could do is, let's say, like prev x, let prev y, something like that. And, oh man, let me just start them out at the middle. This is not right, but just to get something working, just to see if I like the effect, let me just start out with something kind of artificial. And what do I want to do? Instead of drawing these two lines, which I'm going to rename in a second anyway, what I want to maybe do is go back to white and then hold on, let me get rid of some of this code. So I have line Y and line X, and those are bad names. These are really like speed X and note Y, but just for fun, let me try something. So let me go line, what I call it, prev X, prev Y to line X, line Y, and then do prev X equals line X, prev Y equals line Y. So what I'm hoping this ends up looking like is kind of like a random walker, which we talked about in one of my previous videos, and if you want to see that, check it out on happycoding.io. It's right here, where you have this like line that kind of randomly travels around the screen. I kind of want to do something like that, only base it off of the value of the random note. So let's just see what this looks like. It might end up looking dumb. Hold on. What am I doing here? Told you I would get rid of this code, and then I didn't. I am a liar. So I also want to get rid of this background, maybe. So like background, move that up here. And what did I spell wrong? Background? That's not right. That's actually pretty cool. It's a little goofy because it's like I started out with over in the middle, even though it's not where it actually starts. I could change that. I could also change this. Let's see what this does. So now it'll fade over time. Maybe I'll decrease this even more. Maybe. Kind of don't like how high it gets, but it's kind of part of the random. I could decrease that. I could constrain that. Down here, maybe 550 was too much. Maybe I take that down to 500, and I need to change that here too. I guess I should make that a variable. Maybe I'll do that in a minute, but so for now, I kind of like that random walker effect. I think I don't like the fading. Kind of want to see it build up as a shape over time. I don't like this width over 2, height over 2 thing. So, all right, let me do a couple things. Let's start out with some variables. Let's do like const min. What is it? Note min. I'm sure there's a word for it, but I'm just going to call it min note equals what? 250. Const max note equals 500, and let's use those. So I've got min note, max note. I need to use that down in here somewhere. Down here, min note, max note, and same thing for speed. So const min speed equals whatever it was. So it's like min and max. Min I guess is 2. Yeah, 1/2. I guess that's slower anyway. So const max speed is 8. Min speed, max speed, and let me use that up here. Min speed, max speed. Okay. Let's see, what else do I need to do? So I've got my note and speed. Let me maybe just keep these like this. Yeah, okay. I could call this prev note instead. Yeah, let me do that. That'll be better. So prev note and prev speed, so that I can like recalculate the previous point. Yeah, okay, that'll work. So I've set some defaults. I don't need to do this here anymore. Do I? I do want to do that here though. So prev note equals note, prev speed equals speed. And do I need this background? I do. All right, so maybe let me move this and let me move it down. All right, so I've got my sort of variables set up, and now what do I want to do? So I've got my note, I've got my speed, I've got some constants, which I don't like these like short variable names. It's not like we need to save space. Come on. So instead of line x, line y, I'll call this, what did I call this? Note y, and maybe speed x. Yeah, okay. So then what I can do is kind of something very similar to this, only using prev and yeah, prev speed and prev note. Okay, yeah, this is making sense. So I do prev speed, prev note. Let me organize this a little bit better. Yeah, fine. Prev note, fine. And let's call this prev speed X and prev note Y. Okay, and all of that work was so that I could update this line of code to prev speed X, prev note Y, speed X and note Y, and then I can do prev note equals note and prev speed equals speed. Okay, I probably broke something, but let's find out. So again, I'm about to play some random music, so hide your ears. Yeah, man, I'm into that. Cool. So a couple things I might do, just some house cleaning. I might assign these random values to start with. So like random min note, max note. So the nice thing about having those in those variables is I don't have to go like look up what they are. I can just use them. So random min speed, max speed. So like each time it starts out at a random sort of note and speed. And then let me maybe move this up a little bit. So let me maybe make another variable for like const, I don't know, margin, maybe 25, just to give myself some room. So like it goes kind of off the screen a little bit, so I want to decrease like the places it can go. So instead of going from 0 to width, I'm going to go from margin to width minus margin. Do I want width minus margin? Yeah, I do here. So then this is going to be like height minus margin and margin. And same kind of deal here. So maybe I could have put this in a function or something, but whatever. All right, and we're just about done. But what do I want? I want height minus margin and margin. All right, if I click tidy code, will that break everything? Yeah, kind of did, but man, it's annoying. Can I control Z? Yeah, okay. I kind of prefer my formatting, or wait, do I? Nah, let's just go with their formatting. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You can format your code however you want. I'll stick with whatever P5 tells me to do because P5 is my boss. So I've got my variables, I've got a margin. Let's see what this looks like now. Cool. just about happy with this. Let me just play with a couple things. So I could go like random, I don't know, 100 to 255, something like that. So it's like a random shade every time, maybe. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It seems fine. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll play with that a little bit more. So I think I'm just about done. Let me think if there's anything else I want to do. So I could play the background a little bit more because it's kind of boring, but I think what I'll probably end up doing is just making it a little smaller. So something like this. I could restrict it a little bit more, so play with min note, min speed, max speed. So right now it's like 250 to 500. Let's see if I go to like 300 to 400. Man, that's cool. I really like this. This is like, I don't know, you can kind of see that this is like a visual representation of a random song, which is totally awesome. But let's just play with some changes. So I've decreased the range that my note can play, and yeah, you'll see these like more extreme changes. And of course it started out really slow. Let's just try another one. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's fine. I think the 250 and 500 was a pretty good combination. So yeah, I think this is about where I'm going to end. I think that my January prompt of use sound, I think I've done that. I've definitely used sound, and I wanted to play around with this p5.sound library, and I started with this p5 monosynth example. And I think I made it my own enough that I feel, proud of what I created, and it's not just like I'm reposting this exact program. I think I made it my own, so I feel pretty good about that. So from here, there's a few things you could play with. You could play with the idea of like user input. So my random song plays automatically, but maybe you let the user click to add a note or type on their keyboard. You could play with the different visualization options. So I'm kind of just drawing a line, a white line, and that kind of works for what I want to do, but you could play with a bunch of different things, like maybe a low note is a certain color, or maybe once you start going really fast, something else interesting happens. Make it your own and play with it a little bit, just like I did it here. You could also play with the other sort of options that come with this p5 sound library. I played with one class and one function, but again, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many more interesting things you could do, and you could spend quite a bit of time just playing around with these kind of functions. And I don't know, man, this sounds aggressive. Attack knee. Oh man, it's like a fighting class. But whatever, you could play around with these options. But for me, I think I'm pretty happy, and what I'm going to end up doing is just letting this sit for a while, probably while I make dinner. It'll serenade me with its beautiful music, and I'll come back and it'll have this cool like visualization of the song that it played, and I'll save that to an image, and that's what I'll end up posting as my actual January project. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. So that's awesome. Looking ahead, let's see. So today is January 28th. Tomorrow is January 29th. Any shape, none can touch. I don't know. I'm not going to think about that too much right now. That's a tomorrow problem. But tomorrow I might do another video. I might take a break. I might do this. I might do something completely random. We'll see. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this. Maybe I'm just going to let this sit for 5 minutes as the closing to the video. maybe I won't do that. Let me just see. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to say have a good night. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy coding. But yeah, I think maybe, hey, random Walker song, can you play me out for a minute? All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, and